Okay, welcome back to Rome. I was just looking around. I think I've pretty much explained, as far as I know, how stuff works. What's this noise? So Sybil, I have Lucius, Verania, Xanthus, and Sybil scroll open already. So I was looking through the events, and I pretty much explained what I could. Let's just read these scrolls really quickly. I don't think I've read this. From the Praetorian Prefect, there is every reason to believe that the Araran robbery was masterminded. Yeah, we pretty much... I think we read this one. Don't think we read this one. So we'll just read this scroll, this one, this one, this one, this one. I think Gordian scroll will open after that, right? I might just read that as well, and then we'll go out of the machine. I'll show you something that I don't understand, because I just read that from the instructions here about, like... Well, you probably don't need to see that either, because it's so obvious that I just took the solution from my guides. So basically, it's fine. But there's even more text here? There's not. Scammed. This is kind of like a thing, right? Because there is a continue, but there is not. It's sort of like the secret scroll from Gordian, but this one is actually just a bug. It's an oversight. Just be consistent in your game, please. So yeah, I've read through the thing. If you want to restart the Navigator in winter, you have to do some switching with the gears, and I don't understand why it works. You also have to work quickly. Like, you have to set them at a certain point. I guess it was in Cornelius's drawing. Actually, maybe we'll just look it up, and we'll try and just see if that was even anything. So let's just start. Even, like, it's only 3 minutes. Don't worry about it. Acta diurna, Ides December. The gods be praised. In 3 days the Saturnalia will begin, celebrating the conclusion of this spectacular year that began another golden age, of which Saturn himself would have been envious, inaugurated by our most powerful and most fortunate Emperor Septimius Severus. The new era will provide for Rome eternal to fulfill her historical mission and complete civilizing the entire world. In the course of this year, all enemies of the Roman order, the traitors, the atheists, and the brigands, were exposed, defeated, and eliminated, and were assuredly make no further trouble. Never before has the empire been so permanently secure. It is truly a Novus Ordo Saeculorum. Can't even continue. Oh, I can't click here because this was just before the... I guess the sound effects in the game has changed since we're in like the end stretch. It's like the truly end game. I actually want to read them in order, but I don't know if I can anymore. I can't even open Lucius scrolls unless they have opened. Let's see, Gordian. Now they open all at the same time, right? So we'll just go read. Let's also slow this whole down. Nope, we're not gonna watch that. We're first gonna read this. Why Rome should fall. This city could use some changes. The violence and corruption in Rome's great blasphemy and politics is destroying the game. By Rome's own rules, I have a right to power, but I've been denied. I've played the game of favors and positioning well, and yet I have not been rewarded as others have. The emperor has become tyrannical, and so this city has become a dark place where insiders are forced to become outlaws. No, we're not gonna watch that. Why Rome should fall. The city has changed since I was a girl, or perhaps I just see it through different eyes now. The purest and most devout are put on trial and executed. Those with faith and a sense of community are persecuted and put to death. Manipulation is the order of the day, and those I thought were good and wise are turned against their own nature by superstitions. What virtue can grow here in this tainted soil? I'm not gonna watch that either. Why Rome should fall. The reasons are the same as they were for me a year ago. Corruption, greed, violence, eradication of those they call barbarians who live beyond the frontiers of the empire. The edges of the empire are awash with the bloody massacres of corruption, of occupation by Rome's legions. Innocents are slaughtered and their ways of life are burned to the ground. This obscenity called Rome must end. No, we're not gonna watch that just yet. Why Rome should fall. For all the broken hearts and shattered lives that the empire has left in its wake, for all the disgraced outsiders forced to live enslaved and powerless within its borders, for reparations long overdue on crimes of the past, present, and future, this city must cease. We're not gonna watch this either. We're gonna watch those movies later, but why Rome should fall. I gave everything to the state and to the empire. I built or repaired or maintained most every building within the city gates, and my reward is pain and humiliation and loss beyond any comprehension. I reached upwards, as all Romans are encouraged to, and I was slapped down. But to suffer as I have suffered is not just. I am Roman. I have built Rome, but I did not build this Rome that has turned on me. Okay, so let's go a little bit further back. Voices in the winds. Denied. So this one, right? This is a clue on how to open up the door, which enters the end game. So it doesn't really say much about it though. That was somewhere where I read that there was like 2 parts of this wood and 2 parts of that wood, and let's just read that again. I stood knee deep in fragments of marble at my ill-fated construction site south of the Temple of Saturn. Imagine they now dare say the Emperor ordered it to collapse. I looked up and saw Cornelius's villa. I felt soothed by memories of our long conversations in his workshop. I smiled thinking of this door made of many woods, and how they represent the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, water. I smiled for only a moment, then the pain returned. Was it Lucius which... Let's see, Italy, Rome, home. No, I don't think it was... I don't think it was Lucius then that said something about the... Let's see. Chaos. There was one thing I read, but I can't know where it is anymore. Was it here in the Acta journal? I don't think it was. But there was something written about the door as well. Maybe if I just go there it will pop up, but who knows? Who knows of anything? It doesn't really pop up though. Let's close this thing down. Don't think we can get the note again. Nope. I think we'll be able to finish the game today before the 50-minute mark, but if I walk around very much and don't do a whole lot, probably not gonna happen then. Next page is information about these characters. The map of Rome, the calendar, the Acta Journal. Welcome to my workshop. Elements: earth, wind, fire and water. The Navigator. Don't know where I clicked. Vision screen. Don't think this is where I'm supposed to be looking at the things. Scroll shelf. Starting the Navigator. So this one. This is ABC. And this is the winter solution of restarting the Navigator, which is something I have already completely forgotten about. So what you do here is you start in these positions, right? Then you click the button D. Then you switch B to 2, and then C to 3, and then B to 1. So that's what I didn't understand why the solution was like that, but it was actually here all along, but that was in the beginning of the game, which we completely forgot about as well. Well, I did, at least. I don't know about you, but secret compartments. These objects are valuable. I don't know where I read that then. There was like one scroll or somewhere that I read that, oh, this door, it's like 2 parts of this wood and then 1 part of this wood and then... I don't remember. So that's also good that we just got that, I guess. So now you know. We'll look at these movies of confessions or like theories about themselves, like they would do if they were the Calamites, right? And then maybe after I've looked at those I have more of an idea what I'm gonna do next, or where the thing was that I was looking for. But let's just watch this.
If I were Calamitous, I would connect that wire circuit from the Temple of Jupiter to Cornelius's barge of manure that powers the Navigator. This would ignite the underground gas all over Rome. The only way to stop me would be to cut the barge free with an axe so it would float out of the sewer.
So we'd have to use an axe to stop would use an axe to stop Lucius, but I don't think we have the axe anymore, right? Like, we also have a bone. It's kind of hard to see whatever this all is. I think the bone here and the vial and the key are also some of the things that we need to stop other people. There's the vial, there's the bone, there's the key. Vial, bone, key, axe, which we don't have, and then there's the whatever these are. I wish this was a little bit higher resolution or more easy to make out what they are. Or maybe it's not the vial, but hey, look, we're just guessing at this point.
If I were Calamitous, I would assassinate Emperor Septimus Severus while he is in the Regia, in his role as the Pontifex Maximus. There is an ancient secret passage between the House of the Vestals and the Regia. I could get to Severus through the passage when he is unguarded. I only hope no one has the key to lock me out of the secret passageway.
So this is when we need the key to stop Verania from doing that thing.
If I were Calamitous, I would back up the sewer and use Nero's machine in the valve house to flood the forum. The machine is controlled by a quick-release mechanism so that one person using a water key can open the huge valve releasing water into the forum. The only way to stop me would be to turn the water key in the opposite direction until it loses the thread and the machine is disabled forever.
I don't know. Do we need nothing for that, or just... Yeah, whatever. I didn't understand that.
If I were Calamitous, I would poison the reservoir on the Palatine Hill that feeds the great Claudian aqueduct. Unfortunately, it would be possible to stop me, because Crixus, the fool, left a vial of the poison's antidote in the Temple of Vesta, where anyone could find it.
Insane. I didn't really pay attention to that either.
If I were Calamitous, I would pull out a supporting strut under the tabularium that would release a slow avalanche of sand that would ultimately bring down the tabularium itself. I would want the building to fall on the ceremony of the laying of the keystone for the new finance office. The Emperor would be there, along with the new prefect of grain and many questors, and they would all be crushed. I could be stopped, though, if someone was to hang a counterweight that would stop the progression of the flow of the sand.
Yay, we have a counterweight. Let's see, where's the counterweight even? Is this one? Yeah. So it's the counterweight. I don't know. I was just reading through the things. So, let's see. Here. If we go here, the door of the four elements of 2 oaks, an ash, 2 pines, and a fir. So it's twice oak, 1 ash, twice pine, and 1 fir. So it's like 2 1 2 1, which is basically the secret. And then there is something here in measures, apparently. The weight and measures, weights, platonic solace, the 4 elements, the secrets of wood. According to the Greek philosophers, all things are composed of 4 elements. Empedocles said that earth, air, fire, and water are joined or separated by harmony and discord. Aristotle suggested that a single basic material assumed various forms, Its properties were hotness, coldness, dryness, and moistness. Fire is hot and dry, earth is cold and dry, water is cold and moist, and air is hot and moist. I believe Cornelius has his own theory. We once discussed the property of a variety of woods, oak, pine, and so on. He gave me a wonderful chart measuring the 4 elements in each species of wood, which I still use to train my assistants. The secrets of woods. Cornelius and I share a fascination for the properties of wood. Although I am motivated by the practicalities of construction, we agree that wood must be felled in the autumn, for in the spring trees become pregnant and discharge their excellence into their foliage and fruit. He had charted the relative composition of the 4 elements in the various woods, including oak, elm, poplar, cypress, and fir. Oak is earthy, but has little moisture, air, or fire. When it is buried in foundations, it lasts forever. On the other hand, fir has plentiful air and fire, but little moisture and earth, so it is light and easily kindled. Beech has a combination of the humid, the fiery, and the earthy, and an excess of air, which is open pores. It admits moisture and quickly decays. The willow has fire and air to saturation, the humid in moderation, but too little of the earthy, so it is relatively soft and convenient for carving. The alder has air and fire blended in it, but little of the earth or the humid. It is used for pillings in marshy grounds. The elm and the ash have an excess of moisture, very little air and fire, and moderate amounts of earthy. They quickly bend. Cedar has the least fire and air, but the most moisture and earth. Its resin protects it from rot. Cornelius' chart of woods. Fear, max. Cornelius said that building his workshop door with all the moving parts was surprisingly simple. He followed Vitruvius to the letter, fir and a little oak, followed by alder and some cedar. So we have fir twice, a little oak once, followed by alder twice, and some cedar, which is once. Right? So it's like 2-1, 2-1. And apparently, I've looked at the solution and it tells me that the order doesn't matter. I'm a builder and engineer. Yeah, you failed. I don't really know though. If I... Okay. So apparently, also, if you look at all the objects we have here, like this is supposed to be a clue, right? That's just however many horses we have. Maybe I'm not supposed to tell us, and maybe the game will tell us as well before I will spoil it. The game will spoil it. So, let's go to the door and enter the code, right? Actually, let's go to the door and wait a while because there's more stuff to happen before January begins, because we still have quite a few days. We have to finish the game before the end of this year, so before actually having the calends of January. That would be a rip run, unfortunately. Well, we'll go to this door, we'll wait a while, and then we'll enter the super secret codes. And apparently we have to have the axe to say that, hey, Lucius is the Calamitas, but if we don't have the axe, we can also use the bone, apparently, which is weird, but that's how it works. Trust me.
I am Sybil. Cornelius speaks through me from beyond.
I'm confused. So Sybil says, I'm Sybil, Cornelius speaks for me from beyond. But... oh no, not so fast, man. Stop it with the scrolls.
I am Sybil. Cornelius speaks through me from beyond.
I don't understand, like... that's not even a message, right? It's just... uh-huh. Did we just mess up? Gods be praised. I think we just messed up. Let me just we've messed up, right? So it says here as well, like we have the bone. X, S, V, G.
If I were Calamitous, I would connect that wire circuit from...
I think we've seen that. But I think we're too late. This is pretty interesting though, I've never seen that. Everything is ruined. Everything is awful. I kinda like how they're like literally destroying every single room here. That's pretty neat. That's amazing. Can't even look up anymore. Well, there's probably no more up even. I don't know. We should load the save and actually, because there was also stuff to read and I just didn't read it, so it's kind of sadness. The what? I am I am confused. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why I clicked there. So I don't even know if that's good, right? I mean, I still wanted to read some of the scrolls. There was also Lucius scroll and Vranius scroll opening. And there was the active journal, which I started to read, but then I just... Oh, I want to go back. I also don't know if that's like even good now, because you're one of the whatever Olympiad. Everyone who is fortunate to live in the free federation of the Mediterranean states cannot but enjoy celebrating the 100th anniversary of the great step forward. The festivities will culminate at the capital today in the mass rally with the entire government in rotation present. The event will take place on the forum before the mausoleum of Cornelius, the greatest genius that there ever was, to whom we owe the invention of the steam engine and high-strength steel, the discovery of electricity and telecommunications, the belief in the freedom of conscience and the right for all. And tonight, ... Tonight, millions will watch broadcast on their household navigators of the performance in the Colosseum, reenacting the events of the great step forward, and rejoice at Lucius' failure to destroy Rome. Speculate about the nameless person, an apprentice of Cornelius, who discovers the master's workshop, makes its treasures public, and disappears. Be surprised by the emperor killing his sons in the fit of madness which left the empire without leadership, or admire Verania as the peacemaker, Gordian as the chief of technology, and Mother Sybil as the healer of great fame. The show ends with Xanthus in preparation for the voyage to the new Atlantis, from which he was never to return. I think that was a successful ending though, but I missed some scrolls there. But that's pretty much the ending, I guess. I'm still confused though, because the notes I'm using here say, oh, you have to finish before January, which I totally didn't. And I don't think I explained some things. So you can make the decisions to appoint multiple people as like Calamitis, right? I don't think you could, I guess you can fail, but I'm still confused because I think I was too late. We can try some different endings though. But I think that's fine. It's not gonna take too long to replay that last bit, right? Is he just gonna loop the credits? Are you just kidding with me here? I hope the game doesn't close like this. Oh, come on, man. Wasting my time. So I think one of the things that's important to note here is that I felt like I could speak and finish my sentences. Come on, man. Let's see, we have Lucius, Veraniac, Sanctus, Sybil, Gordian. All these books that are gonna open, which we read. Okay, let me just wait here. So the thing here is that these horses, right? I didn't say that before, I was trying to say that before, but the game didn't tell me, but it's okay. If you have a horse here, it means that it's Sanctus who did it. If you have a vial here, Sybil did it, right? And then you have like a quill. I don't know if this is a quill, but then Gordian did it, which is, we have one quill somewhere. And maybe this is a second vial, and then two vials for it. And then we have the soldiers. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4 soldiers. So we have the most soldiers, and that represents Lucius. So basically, Lucius is the one doing the most damage here in the city. I kind of disagree with that one though, because I was the whole time, like, if you read Sanctus scrolls, like the whole way through, he's like super salty about Rome and like everything about it. Just hates the place. He's not a Roman. He wants to... I mean, Lucius is still Roman. He does drink a lot of wine, of course, but... And also he's crazy, but... Don't really see him as like the real Calamitis, though. So we'll just... Should we just try... Sanctus's ending then? Because I think it's Sanctus, to be completely honest. Like, I think the game wants you to think that it is Sanctus, right? Even though it might not be Sanctus, but the game wants you to think it is. That's just the whole way that this his lines are written like that, like his scrolls are written like that. You just... You have to... I'm just completely... Okay, it just works, of course. So now we're definitely entering before January. But it still does the explosion here. So we're gonna go with Sanctus. We do have this thing, apparently. Don't know where we got that, but hey. Well, we clearly think it's Sanctus. So I guess it doesn't really matter that you... Can you pick up multiple items? No, I don't think you can. So we've chosen Sanctus. These are just the scrolls that the last one that they said.
If I were...
Well, not the last one, but if I were Calamitis thingy. Let's see, if we are accusing Sanctus, we have the thing that we need to turn, so the thing gets... The thing gets, like, de-threaded and impossible to be used. Where are we even going? I think these cutscenes are rather short, so well, this is the point of the door actually. So these cutscenes are rather short, so we can probably do like literally all of them. Blah, blah, blah. We just click here, I guess. That'll be that. I don't think there's much use though. I mean, we can look at things, which is always interesting. Do we have to turn this on? Lol. Don't think that does anything apart from making noises. Well, you know, it's obvious what we need to do. We just need to click here, click here. That should be GG for Xanctus. Which apparently is not the quote-unquote correct solution, but it is a fun ending, apparently. Or at least a different one. I mean, to me, this is kind of the true ending, because I am suspecting Sanctus for just doing a lot of these things. And then a couple of things I blame on Sybil. I really can't see Lucius as being like the complete mastermind of like everything. Chronicon Byzantiacon, the year of our Lord, Her Magnificent Majesty Zenobia, by God's grace and the Empress of the Christian world, authorized today the dedication of the new chapel at the Basilica Hagia Sophia to Saint Verania and Saint Sybil in commemoration of the role both great saints played a century ago in the triumph of the cross. The triumph of the cross, right? The beautifully crafted mosaics in the chapel detail the lives of the saints and the history of their times. The mosaics portray in splendid sequence the deaths of the impious Septimius Severus amidst the havoc wrought in Rome by the demonic Lucius Messala, the latter's capture and terrible execution, and ... So still Lucius is getting caught here with the thing, so it's just better, right? ... And the momentous conversion of Saint Verania and Saint Sybil advising the fearful Julia Domna to leave Rome for Byzantium and make it the capital of the empire, Saint Verania urging her to establish their government by women, the two saints trying to intervene on behalf of the martyrs, Sanctus Gordian and Master Cornelius's nameless apprentice, falsely charged with complicity in treason by the tyrant Caracalla. The said tyrant's encounter with his brother Gita and their killing each other in fraternal embrace. Finally, the two saints proclaiming the millennium of the Lord and retiring to the hermitage at the Mount Athos, where they died in glory. It's so weird, then. Well, so there's basically two more endings, which seems weird maybe. Because there's still Gordian, Verania, and Sybil, but apparently Verania and Sybil are the same ending. Which is weird. This might be a slightly longer episode, but hey, that doesn't matter. I also didn't read the scrolls yet again. Cake snack! Oh. Just leave it to me, just mess that up. I just wanted to read the scroll, the last scroll. There's an Acta Diurna then, and there's also Lucius and Verania saying things. Which is interesting, because that's not in my notes. I totally think it doesn't matter. There's still like 2 days, right? Ah, come on, man. I keep missing it. Which is not good because that makes the video longer. But hey, if you enjoy the video being longer and actually showing this, then I guess you made a good decision. Really, the gods be praised. The tremendous success of the secular games Ludi Secularis celebrated last year inaugurated the arrival of the new golden age. To sanctify the first year of the new era, the Patres Conscripti gathered today for ceremonial session of the Senate, presides by this year's consuls ordinary, the most noble Antoninus Augustus and most noble Gita Caesar, sons of the emperor, and one by one swore the oaths of allegiance to the acts of our most fortunate and most powerful Emperor Septimius Severus, represented at this session by the prefect of the Praetorian Guard, the most eminent Caius Fulvius Platianus. The augurs and haruspices report that the omens and auspices prove extremely favorable for the emperor and the empire in the new year. The sacred beards consume most enthusiastically their food, and the entrails of the sacrificial animals are in excellent condition. Similarly, the celestial phenomena exhibit nothing but beneficence. This is going to be the year of incomparable peace and prosperity, and never before has Rome been so eminently secure. We couldn't read the last two scrolls. Don't know if that's gonna do that every single time. I think it also completely skips the just scared to miss it again. The new year. They say that as long as the fire glows in the Temple of Vesta, all is well in Rome. But I hear disturbing rumors of trouble in the palace, of intrigues and conspiracies. Even if it's all untrue, I fear this may be used for another brutal crackdown. Who can forget the early days of the reign of Septimius Severus, when he captured Rome and consolidated his power by executing 29 senators? I pray for peace, but fear for the worst. Oh, come on, I knew it. We just have to read Lucius scroll, right? 9, 8, 7, 6, Got him! Jupiter, I love this town. The Senate anxiously renewed the so-called Oath of Loyalty to the Emperor today. Emperor Severus's sons, Caracalla and Geta, were appointed consuls. Does it mean the Emperor wants to control everything through his noxious offspring? I'm sure they won't let affairs of state interfere with their embezzlement of funds and harassing of young boys and girls. Good thing. Right, let's try another ending then. Because I think that's basically all the endings. There's like 2 more endings. Verania and Sybil are the same, I guess. I mean, that's what I've been told. That was a very short ending. I guess they're just gonna show it twice because it's so short. Basically, we didn't do anything. We sucked at the game. We made a wrong decision. It's just we can't even use the counterweight. Rome is already burning. Like, why would you suspect Gordian to be the Calamite? It's like, come on, man. It's just silly. 100 years of Rome's destruction, AD 305. Listen to the verse sung today by the performance at the court of the Conung Segestus III in Ravenna about the bygone age, the rise of the Goths and the downfall of the evil empire, how the gods of the Valhalla resolved to end the dominion of the wicked Romans over the peoples, how they chose the valiant Lucius to perform the deed, how the great Wotan endowed him with the gift of foresight, Thor the Thunderer, with power of arms, and Lady Freya, with the appearance benefiting the warrior that no woman's heart is capable to resist, and ... and how he fought the crafty wizard Gordian, his opponent, a true son of Loki, and overcame him, how he conceived a brilliant plan to invoke the fires of hell to blow up the city of wrongs, and how he cursed the land on which it stood, how the prophetic Sybil, the daughter of the Norns, perished in its ruin with hideous laughter, how Verania, the Valkyrie, invited the invincible Germans to liberate Italy from its woes, and how she installed her mighty lover Segestus Sanctus as their Koning. These are the famous feats from the time of our fathers. Today we sing. Great. I guess technically there's still 2 endings because lel. There's different items, so if we have different items for the persons, then we're probably having different leading up to the ending anyway, which is a little bit different. So let's just load this up again. Let's just speed this up again. We could also probably save it like way later, so it's a little bit more close to the end of the year. It doesn't take that short, or it doesn't take that long to do it like this. Let's just save it right over here. Also, maybe I'm also a little bit confused because I don't think I opened the door. I don't understand. So let's just pick Sybil now then. I guess I didn't open the door. Is that why this is blown up? Because I didn't open the door in time. Well, that's basically the same ending. It's a slightly different ending though, because apparently if you pick Gordian then the Goths win. If you pick Verania or Sybil, the Byzantium takes over. The year of our Lord. It's meant to, so that I'm pretty sure this is the same as with I think this is the same as when it was with Sanctus. Or with Lucius, I don't remember. And the momentous yeah, this is exactly the same text as one other chant that we got, so apparently even with Verania, you don't make it out the door either. So Sybil and Verania is basically, oh, you click another item, but nothing different happens. Let's just see. We'll load this one up. Oh, actually, oh, wait. Let me just quickly open the door before the time runs out. Because I don't think I even did. Right? It's kind of weird though that... Isn't this like exactly the same as when I don't open the door? I'm so confused. Like, this is the 4 elements door, right? Or is this the 4 elements door? Or if I go this way then? I can't go this way. So Lucius' ending is like the... Well, I guess the according to the game, the right solution. But then again, I think this is not even... I'm getting turned around. Like, this is the 4 elements door. That's how it works. That's interesting. I only wonder now, like, how does the ending look when you have... I guess if you have the axe, you use the axe here. But if you don't have the axe, then you can use the... Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. It's a nice green screen right there. Yeah, this is basically... So weird how you hear voices. But yeah, basically this is where you start the game. Right, so let's just... It's kind of weird how you hear voices, indeed. I don't know what they're saying. know. So I guess that's the game. That's the final part. It's a little bit longer than normal 40 minutes now, or 50 minutes. A little over an hour, but at least we got to watch like all the endings. They were slightly longer than I expected. Also because I had to reload. I don't know. But I'll probably make one more video just to give my thoughts on the game. My review, I guess. And that should be it. So, thanks for watching the game. Hope you enjoyed. And goodbye. I'm not gonna watch the credits again, by the way, it's just over. Goodbye.